Hello there, it's Jay here from Jay's Vintage Junk, and today I thought we'd take a break from the Atari 2600 carts. Amazingly, out of that 17 that I bought up to now, I give the ones that worked on the first attempt a clean as well, just to make sure they're absolutely fine. And I've got 15 out of the 17 of them cartridges work absolutely perfectly. I've got 2 left to play with, which have got actually the shutters are stuck on the bottom of them. And I thought I'd come, because there's only 2 carts there and it's not enough to make a video out of. And I really do want to make a repo from my mate Rob, like I said, one of the horror games that came out on the 2600 as a repo from my mate Rob. And I've got an old Miss Pac-Man which has got a dead mask ROM in it. It's definitely that was wrong with it. So we'll use that to make that, and I'll do a video of showing how we make a repro cart, or even repair a cart that's got a faulty mask ROM in it and you want to retain the original game and actually just repair the cartridge. It's the same process, so we'll do that, and we'll fix them other 2 carts in a separate video. But I'm just waiting on some 7404 ICs. I think they're a hex inverter. I was sure, I was absolutely certain I had some in stock. I was sure, and I've searched and searched, but like I said, the attic is still such a mess. I'm probably not finding them, so I thought, sod it, I just ordered 10 off eBay. They're only dirt cheap anyway. But you need one of them little 7404s to basically be able to replace the mask ROM in a 2600 cart with a EEPROM. So as soon as they arrive, I will get on with that, and we'll get on back with some 2600 fun. But in the meantime, I did go perusing on eBay, as you do, and I managed to pick this up. I'll show you what I got. I've got a box with an interesting computer in it, and it's not a computer I've ever owned before. So when I picked it up, what I picked it up for, I was quite pleased. And it was local, so I didn't have to risk it to the post. I give the chap a call and a message on eBay and said would it be okay if I went and collected it rather than post it. And I went and picked it up today. What we've got in here is a Texas Instruments Ti-994A, and it's amazingly quite complete. We've got the computer, we've got the modulator unit for it, and we've got the power brick. And I will get it out of the box, and so it's not really an unwrapping this as such, because it was just given to me like this in the box. But it's brilliant actually getting a computer bought off eBay that I'm not paid a fortune for, that's actually got all the peripherals and everything with it. So we've got power supply there, and we've got RF modulator. Now hopefully we're not going to need that even for our initial testing, because I think I've got a cable that will allow us to output composite. And this is a bonus because I didn't realise these were included. In fact, I've only just spotted them in the box now. I thought I was going to have to make this. We've got the rather unusual cassette drive. I don't know why it has 4. Can this thing take 2 cassette players? I don't know. I'm going to have to get a manual for this thing. But we've got a what I believe is the cassette interface, which is a 9-pin DIN connector on that end. 2 cables. This one has 2 standard jacks and a mini jack on it, and that one just has a mini jack and a standard jack on it. So is it for 2 different types of tape recorder possibly? I'm not sure. But it looks like we actually do have a way of loading cassette tapes on this thing. Sadly, it didn't come with any software. That is the one slight thing about it. But and then we have the Ti-99 itself. And it is the 4A. This is the later Ti-99. Let me just see if I can just squidge you down a little bit there so you can see it better. And admittedly, this is not in A1 condition. It might look a little bit unusual if you're familiar with the Ti-99. It's actually missing all its metalwork. Originally, these were blackened like a brushed aluminium, and all up here and along here would have been covered with a like a brushed aluminium. And the guy freely admits, the guy I bought this off, actually, it was his computer back in the 1980s. And he freely admits that he took it off as a teenager to make the computer look more cool, obviously. And he said he still doesn't really remember why he did it, but he presumes it was to make it look, stand out and look different. But yeah, so it is missing the chrome work off it. It was sold as seen, untested. He did say he powered it up, but he doesn't have a television that would tune into the RF modulator, obviously, because everything's digital now. He didn't have an older television that this would tune into. But we don't, like I said, we don't even need to use this. I mean, the guy, obviously, you know, it was his old computer. He wasn't anyone that was into vintage hardware like we are. So he wouldn't have obviously known. You don't need that, and a simple cable will allow it to plug into a modern TV. But that's by the by. What did I pay for this fantastic little bit of computing history? I paid £12.50. Now, I was absolutely stunned at that, because I've been looking at Ti-99s for a long time, and even broken ones usually sell for in the £20 odd mark, and they're usually missing like all the peripherals and everything. So I was absolutely stunned at picking it up for £12.50, and obviously because I went to collect it, I didn't pay any postage on it either. So yeah, that's basically it. This is what we've got. This is exactly as I've got it. Now, I wouldn't go ahead and do this if this computer had been an attic find and it had never been tested or anything. Because the guy's already plugged it in, he's already really done any damage that could have been done by powering up an unknown old computer. So we might as well give it some juice and actually see what it does, whether we can actually get it to produce something on the screen. So seeing we've got the power brick for it, I suppose I better do, just as a safety precaution, is I will have a quick squiz in the plug and just make sure that the plug is at least wired safely, because we don't know, do we? Yeah, as normal, 13 amp fuse in the plug. In these old vintage systems, they should really never be more than a 5 amp. It should really, in stuff like this, just be a 3 amp fuse. Possibly if it's something bigger, maybe a 5 amp. But never, ever in any of these old things a 13 amp fuse like that. You see it literally all the time. I haven't got any here at hand, but I will as soon as I'm finished making this video. I will swap that out for a 3 amp in there. Apart from that, it is at least wired correctly. There's even a nice bit of a nice little bit of slack on the wires and what have you. It's there's a bit too much slack on the live, actually. Really thinking about it, you could do cutting a little bit off the live if you want to make it absolutely perfect, because that should always be shorter than the neutral. But I will sort that out. It's good enough for testing for now. Like I said, and I will change that fuse for a 3 amp as soon as I go and see if I can find one. Let's have a look on the back of this thing. So that's our power input there, and I believe that must be the video output there on that one. Let's have a look at the yes, yeah, I think that's the video output there. And from all the information I could seem to find online, it is wired the same as an Atari 800 and on the original Commodore 64. So I've got a cable here I use on Commodores and Ataris, and no, that's not correct actually, because that doesn't fit. So I will have to see if I can find a no, I'm going to have to force that in, and that doesn't look like it's going to fit. In fact, that's a 5 pin, that's a 6 pin, and that's a 5 pin. Now everything that I saw online was saying that it had the same pin out as a Atari and a an Atari and a C64. That must be wrong. I'm going to have to do a little bit more research on that side of it. What we can do, fortunately, is this TV outputs takes an RF input. We have the modulator for it here, so we can at least see whether we can get it to tune into a RF signal, and then we'll look at future videos. Obviously this is just a quick look over video of this thing. In future videos we can actually look at perhaps making a proper video cable for it, and we may even need to repair it. We don't even know whether it works, because all we know is the chap said he did power it up and the light came on. I'm still not 100% sure what I'm going to do about software for this thing yet. I have been, as soon as I won the auction on it yesterday, so I have been perusing the internet, seeing if I can find, not going, yeah, so that's powering. That looks okay, and we've got the RF in there. Seeing if I can find some tape images to play with it. You can get loads and loads and loads of disc images. They're no problem at all. But finding tape images seems to be a bit of an issue. I think I'm certain there's got to be some out there. Because I don't want to go to the trouble of like a disc interface for it or anything just yet. Not at least until I've got into it and seen if I can actually get the system to work at all. Right, well, I'm going to have to unplug something here, aren't I, to be able to plug this in. What can I unplug that's not critical? I don't think that was critical. No, that was my Toshiba. That doesn't need to be plugged in at the moment. So we'll plug in the thing, and we'll see if at least the light comes on the computer. So I'm not too worried about doing this, because like I said, the guy did say he has had it actually plugged in and what have you. So let's just switch on the power brick. No, I can't see anything. Do we have a power switch on it somewhere? That's the joystick port, I think. Am I being really dumb or something? I can't seem to find where the power switch is on this thing. Yeah, I am being dumb. It's on the front here. There we go. And indeed, the red light, the very dim red LEDs come on. That's a very old school style LED. I believe the 4A came out in 1981, so this is quite a vintage system, really. Right, what we need now is we need a cable to connect between this and the TV. Let's see if we've got one. In fact, just bear with me a second, folks. I'll just have to go and see if I can find a cable to be able to connect the RF box up to the TV. So I'll be right back. Right, well, this is going well. I've hunted and hunted, and they must all be stuck up in my attic. But what I've found, I've got a bit of an old cable with one with one RF cable on one end, like that, to bare ends. And I've got the probe off my signal generator, off my RF signal generator here. Now it does have a isolation capacitor built into it, but I don't think that'll matter. I think basically if I connect these two together, that's the ground into it, and that's the I think that's the ground and that's the what's it one. Right, so basically if we connect, this is a lash up, this is a proper lash up. Basically we connect that up like that. We can plug one end into the RF input of the TV. I've got a SCART plugged in there at the moment, you can't quite get to it with the SCART plugged in. But we can, where is it? Get in there. We're in, right. So we're into the RF input of that TV. We plug this end like that into the modulator, and we're connected up there. Now if we switch on the computer, there we go, that's the computer powered up. We should be able to scan through the TV frequencies and see if we can actually pick this thing up, because this is an analog TV. It may take a minute, but we will see if we can. We'll see if it'll tune in. Even if we get just a pattern on the screen and we can see it's doing something, that'd make an improvement. And then obviously I'll have to try and figure out what the exact video output is from this thing, and then I can make a suitable cable up to get us a video cable and a direct hook up to the TV. Well, that looks promising. We're going to get something. Thought that I had a feeling then we were going to pick something up, but then it seems to have gone past it. I mean, it's obviously it's not going to try and tune any TV stations in, because there aren't any being broadcast anymore. So the only thing it should tune into really is this computer. Indeed, if the RF output on the computer is indeed working. We'll let it run through the scan anyway, and then I think we might crack it open and just have a quick squiz inside, and we'll leave it there for this computer. At least we've had a have a look at my my new pickup and my new purchase. Oh, hang on. Right, that doesn't sound healthy, but let us let's go on to fine tune. There's definitely something there, isn't there? That looks fairly locked to me, but we're not really getting anything apart from a we'll go a bit further. No. And again we're just back into, back into nothingness there. Let's get onto that white signal, because that looked reasonably like we're at least picking something up about there, and that's a bit too. So we're definitely getting something there. Right. Right, Right, store. We'll store that. Oh. I think I've mucked up there. I think I've definitely mucked up there. I don't think I... Oh no. Program 1, program name, standard, Europe, France, Europe, France. That's interesting. It seems much more stable on that. Auto store. Well, anyway, it doesn't seem to be storing. Let's see if we can get it back. Come on, you stupid thing. Oh, it's me messing it. There we go. Let's see what happens if I switch the actual computer off at that. Yeah, so it's definitely producing. It's not obviously working properly, but it's definitely producing at least a white background. I'm just not getting anything else. I will quickly try swapping these over just in case I have mucked up which way's which. No. That was right the other way around. Oh well, never mind. So it looks like we do have a repair project in the midst. You still can't you can't really complain for £12.50, can you? We'll get the TV off. Let's get that out of there. Let's clear some of the peripherals from around it. Let's get that out. One interesting thing to note about the Ti-99 is it was the first 16-bit personal computer. This was in really an 8-bit world. I mean, everything, all personal computers, the only things that were 16-bit, like in the very early 80s, would be like mini computers and mainframes and stuff like that. Well, no, not mainframes, they'd probably be more. But certainly mini computers and stuff were starting to be 16-bit by that time. This was the first. Let me see if I can get you a bit higher so you can see it a bit better. Apologies that we are still in my office here, but like I said, I'm still sorting things out in the house. There we go, that's better. I don't think it's got a very large RAM as well. I know it's got 16K of video RAM, but I think the actual base RAM in it is absolutely tiny, and you had to use like expanders with these. They had what I believe we call sidecars, which plugged on the side and give you all your additions. You could get sidecars, you could get speech synthesizers, you could get disk drives, you could get you could even get a little thermal printer and stuff like that plugged into the sidecar on the side of these. And then they brought an expansion box out, which was turned it more into a proper business computer, really. Where and there was we may not be getting in this, folks, because my screwdriver looks like it may be a little bit too stubby. Just bear with me again for 1 second and I'll just see if I can find a slightly longer screwdriver. I should really get more prepared before I start doing videos. There we go. Fortunately I had one in the other room. So where was I up to? Yeah, so it was a very expandable system, really. I don't think they were particularly popular in the UK. I think they were fairly popular in the US, and I believe they were popular in Europe. I know for a fact that a few of the forums and fan groups that I've seen for these tend to be in, like, I think one of the big ones is in Italy. I think Germany has quite a big fan base for these. I know there's a YouTuber, The Shadows Knows. I watch a few of his videos. It's more of a gaming channel than repair or anything, but I think his first computer was one of these. These from that part of Europe. Oh right, so we got in from the bottom. The bottom comes off. Okay. And the trapdoor's fallen off there, but it's that switch at the front that's confusing me a bit. I don't want to risk breaking it. Do you have to have it switched in one particular way? What a bloody stupid design that is. So how the hell do you get the... Do you have to pop that off before you separate the... There we go. Yeah, you have to take that out, and then you can take the base off. That's an interesting way of doing it. Right, and we're in. There's a little bit of rust there, but this thing has been stored in an attic for many years. I believe this is the power board, so let's have a quick squiz at that. A few caps on there that will probably need it will be a good idea to go through. Very nicely made, I must say. It is very nicely made. I don't know if you can see that. Again, apologies for the fact we're still down here and lighting is not brilliant down here. If I do have to keep doing this any longer, I will see if I can perhaps update the lighting a little bit, because I know it's not good. I think that's set right. Let's put that board back on, because I just wanted to have a quick squiz. Put the screws back in. I actually suspect this how amazingly well built these things are. So it's testament to its age, really, that it's one of the earlier systems. Lots of shielding. Alright, let's hopefully we can figure out how that holds the shielding on. So how do we get the main board out of the case? We do have to remove that. Take this back off again. Oops. Undo the screw inside. There we go. Right, let's get that out of the way. In fact, let's get that disconnected. They like the brown wire, don't they? Right, let's see how this comes out of there. Not like that. You'd think it just... Am I missing some screws or something? No. Ah. That screw there goes down into a So there are screws holding it down, but there's also then screws holding the RF shielding on. So I don't believe you just pull them back like that. Apologies there, my camera appeared to just glitch out for a second. I think some of my SD cards are getting a little bit past their best. Anyway, hopefully you didn't miss anything then. Yeah, this is puzzling. I don't want to risk forcing anything, but that seems to be loose there. I can't see any. No, that's the cartridge slot. I can't see any like hidden screws or anything, but this is definitely not wanting to. Hang on, it's there. You silly sod. Hopefully that was it. There we go. Oh, this is filthy. This really does need a look. It's a good job it's coming out because it does need a clean. We'll get the keyboard connector disconnected, get the case out of the way, and here we are. They don't look original to me. I mean, you see these ridiculously long screws holding the shielding together. Hopefully you can make them out. Let me see if I can zoom in slightly. If you look on the shielding here, it's got like really long oversized screws, which are only finger tight actually. Right, let's get this shielding off and have a quick look, shall we? So then snaps literally do just hold the heart of the RF shield together. That's quite nice. It is, like I said before, rather well built this. Let's get these off. They definitely don't look original. I might be wrong, but they don't look original then. And also the holes that have been drilled through the shielding to hold them feel a little small. I think someone's added them. One more. Yeah, again, I could be wrong, but they don't really look original. The heads are too big for one, the bolts are too big. I could be wrong. Like I said, if you're a TI aficionado, let me know. Right, let's have a look now. And there we go. Right, so let's see what we've got in here what I can recognise. Well, that there, that's our 16-bit CPU. That's a TMS 9900. Like I said, it's 3 MHz 16-bit CPU. We have our video RAM along here. Those will be, I guess that's the video RAM. The reason I'm saying that's the video RAM along there is because I'm almost certain that there with the heatsink compound on top of it is the video processor. Again, that's the TMS part. I can't remember the exact model number, but I have a feeling it's either the same or very, very closely related to the same that's used on the Dragon 32 and the Tandy TRS-80 Cocos. I said, don't quote me on that. I've just got a feeling in the back of my mind, once in the past when I've been looking into these computers, that it's either the same or it's of the same family of video processors. And the graphical output on this computer is very comparable, apparently, to the graphical output on the Dragon 32s and the TRS-80 Cocos. Which means that they're not a brilliant computer for games. And the whole reason behind that is that IC was originally designed for terminal applications. It was never designed for as a game, for a video driver, for like a computer that people would be playing games on. But I mean, that's not. I mean, this still was used for games. People got round the limitations. But anyway, that's going off what we're looking at here. So we've got video processor. I think that's the video RAM. I'm not sure what that is. I think it's probably a complementary IC for the CPU, being it's the Ti-994A. I'd have to look that up. I think it could possibly be audio. I'm not sure. And I think it's much more likely to be some kind of communications between like the video, the RAM, and the main CPU there. We should have a little bit of RAM on here, but I believe it is very, very small, the amount of actual system RAM these have, as in it. I think it's either a K or under a K or something like that. But they do have the 16K of video RAM. I believe you could put a 32K sidecar expansion on these to actually give you some decent amount of actual work RAM. Apart from that, there's nothing on this board that's jumping out at me. You've got all your standard glue logic and what have you. You've got your ROMs down here. That will have the firmware and the basic and what have you built into them. We've got our cartridge slots up there. That's where we get most of our input from, and that's probably how I'm going to get most of the software into this Ti-99. I have, like I said, I have literally no software at the moment. I do have the cassette lead and the cable, but what I'll probably end up doing is buying a trash cartridge, something that no one really wants, or a cartridge that doesn't work. I'll take the mask ROM out of it and I'll install a ROM socket and wire it to take an EEPROM, and then I can just burn my own ROMs off. I've already downloaded a few hundred Ti-99 ROM images, which I should be able to get to work like, so I can burn them to an EEPROM, put them in an adapted ROM cartridge and be able to load them that way. So I should be able to get software to load up on this thing. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there for now with this this little project. It was just a quick overview to show you what I've got. Like I said, £12.50 for this thing. I'll get it reassembled now, and it'll go in a box for a little bit until I've got my workshop back up and running. Anyway, I was just curious, really. I was too eager with this. I wanted to see if I could at least get something on the screen. And obviously we can see it's got an issue. At least it's not completely dead. There's nothing in here that's too frightening to replace apart from possibly the CPU. Yeah, so like I said, it's going to be a future project, really, doing anything major with this thing. Speaking of future projects, I've also today won another computer online on eBay. One that I put a cursory bid on. I was anywhere near expecting to win it. I literally just put the opening bid on it, and I was expecting it to go for a considerable amount, and I won it for the opening bid. That's something which I'm picking it up on Wednesday, hopefully. So once I've picked it up, we'll do a bit of a show and tell on that one. Again, that's definitely not working because it, as in the description, it's already emitted the magic smoke. But it is a rare and unusual system. That's all I'll say for now. It is proposed. It is a very early 32-bit system. It's, like I said, it's quite interesting, quite rare. It was a collaboration between a few different companies, and it was a complete and total failure. So yeah, join me hopefully on Wednesday evening, hopefully, if I can get something out about it then, if indeed I do manage to go and pick it up on Wednesday. So hope you enjoyed that little video on this Ti-994A. Like I said, there will be more parts on this. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.